My sound doesn't appear to be working. Is it because my headphones aren't working? Oh man, are you kidding me? I tested it. Test, test, test. Headphones say they're working. Why do I not hear the music? Do any of you hear the music? Robert says, hey, hey Robert, do you hear the music in the background when I'm playing it? I don't understand why I don't hear it. This is so weird. It says everything's working. Maybe... No, my headphone is working. Hey, Zeno. I'm having technical difficulties. It'll be a moment. Ah, I figured it out. I'm back. Okay. Does today count as OC Day? No, it doesn't. OC Day is going to be next week. Today is the last day of the month. Getting an extra sketch in this month. So for those of you following me on Patreon, that's 5 sketches instead of your average 4. Alright. Sorry, I couldn't hear anything. The reason for this was that I haven't drawn since last Tuesday. Like, I've been working on editing and inserting text bubbles and everything for my comic book. And then I played a lot of video games. So basically, the second I was done my comic, I was like, yeah, I'm taking a break, woo! And usually at this point in time, I'm like out partying for like a week to make up for the year I spent drawing my comic. But because like everyone's quarantined, I'm in the house and I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll play some Atelier Ryza and Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Which I got, and is amazing. It's inspired me to do a Digimon illustration. So like today I'm probably going to work on Digimon drawing, but not during this live stream. I'm going to make like an actual nice pinup. Not to say that my sketches aren't nice pinups. It's just that I'm going to, more polished. I'll do a more polished pinup. Okay, so for today, I guess y'all can start writing, typing down the what you'd like me to draw, and I'll start thinking of mashups for them. I already got my sketch done, but I'm not going to show it to you until you write your mashup ideas, because I do not want it to influence you. Aisha, Outlaw Star, and Blackfriar from Teen Titans. Okay. I like this Outlaw Star character. It's something we've never done before. I've never seen Outlaw Star, but I heard it takes place in the same universe as Cowboy Bebop. Jeez, the reference on this character is awful, though. Everywhere I look, it's like the most pixelated garbage. It's like, here, reference from a book from the early 90s, which has never been brought over into a nice, finalized, polished book. It was just scanned in with the smallest resolution you could ever imagine. Alright, here we go. I'm going to need 2 references for her, because that one is so bad. Let's bring up another one. This back reference actually seems much nicer. This looks like a polished one, but there's no front. Anyway, it's okay. I'm going to be okay like this. Alright, and what else do we have today? Check DA notes. Himiko from Persona. Therezen, what's going on, man? Mine is Himiko from Persona 4. Alright, let's go check her out. Oh, I hurt my back the other day. Because I'm getting old. And I haven't been sitting properly. Like I was in a sofa the past couple days just playing video games, and so like and then I got up and I was like, oh my back, I'm getting so old. All right. I don't know what the official artwork for this Himiko character is, but she looks cool. Okay. Let's go with this one. Alright, so I'm not sure if this is it. Is this the Himiko that you're talking about? When I look up Persona 5 Himiko, I keep getting this illustration. Or like this character. Just let me know in the comments if this is the right one. Not much going on. Video games and home stuff. Yeah, I hear that. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I linked you a photo in DA notes. Oh, okay. I'll check the notes, but I don't know. I feel like that one will be okay. Let me just go in here. Check in my notes. Doo doo beep beep bop dee. Yeah, okay. I like your reference better than mine. I'm gonna grab that. That's cool. Oh, I'll be okay. Thanks for the better high quality one. I think the one I took the smaller one by mistake, but I think it'll be alright. Okay, so we've got Himiko from Persona 4. And then we've got Aisha from Outlaw Star. Okay. Yeah, I could fuse these two. Unless there's you want to get an idea in there? Unless your idea was Aisha from Outlaw Star from last week. I don't remember who said what. There's also Blackfire. Teen Titans Blackfire. I'm gonna look at all of these and then I'll choose which one to go with. Here we go. So we've got Black Star over here. There's also Susie from Kirby Planet Robot. Okay. Let's go. Susie, Kirby Planet Robot. Oh, here we go. I don't know Planet Robot, but I really like the design of this Susie character. I'm a sucker for floating appendages. Okay. Okay, y'all, we've got 4 characters here. I'm only gonna mash up 2 of them, because, again, every time I mash up more than 2, like, it works, but I always find it's like, it never, like, the designs never look as pretty. It's always harder to tell who's who or what's what when I do that, and I like the idea that when I do mashups, people can look at them and be like, oh, that's like a mix of that person and that person. The second I add a third one, then it's like, then your mind kind of goes way out there when you're trying to guess who's who or what's what. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I'd rather keep it so that people can have the fun of trying to guess what 2 characters are fused together if they don't actually know. And also, you get to see a little more of the character you chose when I do that too. Whereas if I really mashed up all 4 of these characters, I would come up with something completely original that wouldn't look like any of the 4 that are there. They would just have mild elements of each one. As opposed to 2 of them mashing up, you get a lot more of those elements, so it's more obvious, which is nice. So which 2 should I take? I definitely am going to go with Susie. I think Susie is awesome, and she looks super cool, so Susie 100%. That's why I hesitated to put in a 4 suggestion there. No, seriously, like, I don't want my suggestions to be first come, first serve. Like, I don't think that's fair, because some people might be waiting on here right away and then just start typing in what they want immediately, and I don't want to go with that. I want to go with how I feel when I'm going to do the sketch of that day. So basically, every week you could suggest Susie, and it could be the first thing that's suggested every single week, and I won't necessarily draw Susie in my mashup. I need to think that she would mix well, or I need to be like, I'm in the mood for drawing something like this. So obviously I love robot girls and monster girls, and the fact that it's a satellite going through this person's head is pretty awesome. Like, I kind of want to do a fusion of Susie and the Persona 4 character. I think that might look really nice because the 2 characters are kind of weird and robot-y like, so I think that's nice. Another good fusion would be Blackfire and Susie. That would look really good. And even the Outlaw Stargirl and Susie would work, but not as well, because the Outlaw Stargirl seems very organic in comparison to Blackfire and Himiko from P4. So, we're going to cut out the Outlaw Stargirl for this week. But I'm going to leave her in my reference list up here, and we're going to do her at one point. So whoever had suggested her, like, she's a cool character, and I love elves and monster girls and aliens and things like that, so she really fits in well with the kind of thing I like to draw, and I do think her design is pretty. It's just, I think Susie's really cute, and I'm super down to do a little Susie illustration. Of course, it's not going to look anything like Susie, as I will show you my sketch that I've done. Boom! There we go. This one's a little sexualized, but it won't necessarily remain over-sexualized once I actually start doing the illustration. So, let's see here. Or as sexualized, let's just say. What do you all suggest? Would you think that we should fuse Susie with Satellite, or do we fuse Susie with Raven's evil twin? Yeah, Blackfire is pretty cool, but I really think that Persona one would work really nicely. Raven. Oh, I'm not going to use Raven. Raven, I don't want to mix Raven with Susie. But, maybe we will go with Blackfire. Blackfire is, like, cute and cartoony, and so is Susie. And they're literally doing the same thing with their hair. So as much as I think Himiko is amazing in design, because I just think she looks awesome, we'll put her on the back burner for this week, and we are going to go with Blackfire. So Blackfire and Susie. Blackfire is Starfire's sister. Yeah, I know. Oh, and did I say Raven's twin? Jeez, sorry, I meant to say Starfire's twin. I thought I said Starfire's twin. It's not really her twin. I know it's her sister. It's just that, like, the character design is so similar, so similar. Like, in the body's the same, like, but I mean they're sisters, right? But even, like, the skin tone is different. The hair is completely different, which is rare that you'll have something like that. And even her eyes completely different. Like, they're not even, like, green. Like, she shoots the green lasers. Anyway, she's whatever. Enough complaining about this. let's get to work on designing these two characters together. So I called this a lazy morning sketch because I'm gonna have her, maybe we could put her like on a bed or something. I'm not gonna put that there. Let's we'll have like a pillow here. Maybe we'll have like a little, we'll have like a star pillow here. Not like that though, I don't like that. But I will do a star pillow. We'll do like a little star pillow going like this. And I'll make it real chubby. It's just on my base sketch, it's not gonna look chubby. Is this on another layer? Please tell me yes. No, it's not. Damn you, star. Alright, let's put this on a different one here. There we go. Okay, let's do something like this. And then I'll bring that out a little more. And then maybe we can like make it so that this star, me doing all this work on this stuffed animal, will kind of seem like a Mario star. That's actually going to be a little Kirby head. And we're going to make the star look way chubbier than this, like really a chubby star here. There we go. So it'll be like a Kirby stuffed animal that's a star. She's like, okay, hold on. She's like RoboCop, new one. Clear, distinct parts, no Borg-like implants here. We'll see. I'm really not sure how I'm going to go about doing this just yet. But for now, let's just... Alright, so let's see here. She definitely has like these robot ears, which I think are super cool. Let's make them pretty big. On the other side too. We're gonna go in here like this and add like that bolt. Yeah, let's make the bolt a little bit more further down like this. Here we go. Alright. Something like that, I guess. She's got a lot of hair. Let's start off with this hair. No, I like that we can see her neck, but I'm gonna cover her neck anyway, even if I like it. Sometimes you just gotta do that. That's very organic. Maybe we can make her hair feel like plating. Kind of like Susie's hair. There we go. I've actually got my Easter pick for tomorrow to do as well. Well, I meant the source material. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's bring this in here like that. I never liked her little hair piece here. I always hated that. I hate it. It's like a design on Starfire I really don't like, but I feel like if it's going to look like Blackfire, I'll have to put it in. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm going to start off by just drawing her eyes. Let's start with the other eye first. That one's okay. This one's going to be about here like that. Oh, let's not give her a mouth. So how can I do her dumb hairstyle in a cool robot way? All right, let's see if I can't pull this off. So we go all the way down, like, let's bring it further down to where the eye is, like the other one. So like this. Alright. Man, this month I think we've got like 2 crazy monster girls and 1 and 2 robot-y girls. Let's do something like this. And it'll still have like the shape that her hair has with the bangs coming down, but it's not actually that. There we go. Let's do something like that. I think that's good. There we go. No, let's leave that like that. There we go. How's that for little robot eyes? Looks good. Now to do her eyebrows. No, I don't like that. Hold on. Really finish this up high, huh? Maybe I can finish this a little higher up so I can show off her eyebrows. Because she does have unique eyebrows and I gotta do that. Let's see. Bring this in and out. So is our gal a villain this week? I don't know. You know what? Let's say that, because I don't know if Susie's, I've never played Kirby Robo so-and-so. Is she a villain in that? Like, is Susie a villain in the Kirby franchise? And not the Kirby franchise, and specifically the Robo game. No alternate universe Susies. Just the actual Susie, is she a bad guy? I have no idea. Please write that down in the comments if you know. I'm expecting Zeno to come out with like a huge long backstory. Well, she was originally supposed to be a villain, but in the 1992, I don't know. Get it? Cause Zeno knows a whole bunch about everything. You do, Zeno. You know a whole bunch about all sorts of stuff. You're like a little fountain of knowledge over there. All right. Yeah, I could do like little designs like this, I guess. Susie is a villain, but more of a minor one. Popstar gets mechanized. She's the manager of the project. She's the main antagonist, but both 3DS games have the villain you see in most of the game by a loyal pawn for the real bad guy. Oh, okay. Cool. Ooh, yeah, let's put her little metallic brooch dealy on this side. Alright, here we go. A couple of these. I'm going to add a couple lines like this because I'm going to mechanize her hair. Okay. Let's make her a little thinner. Less curvy. Curvy? Curvy? Alright. So I love the idea of her arms not touching anything and just floating around. But I'm sure I can find a way to do this. Drawing floating appendages? That's what I do. I have a bunch of characters in my comics that have like floating appendages. I always thought it was super cool. Both of these cases, she's got herself a skirt. So we're giving her a skirt. Should I give her feet or like little spikes or stilts or something? Going based off of Susie's type of design and of her design. Man, I love my stilts too. That's the real issue here. So we're gonna. I actually don't know. Maybe I could just give her the boot. Alright, I think that'll be alright. Let's add like that gem that's on the front of her here. I'll also make that floating. Everything's floating on this girl. No, I don't want that. But knowing now that everything's floating, I'm not going to connect this. Let's make like a few things floating around her like this. But this is not floating. I'm making her hair all interconnect. Okay, let's put this away. See what we got under here. All right. Let's erase some of this background. Actually. Hmm. All right. So, what has everybody been doing with all their time off? Most of all, y'all playing video games, chilling at home. Working still. Oof. That's intense. Playing games, eating, panicking, sleeping, drawing, and running out of milk. Uh, yeah, everyone. I think a lot of people are running out of everything at this point. I miss pizza. Oh my gosh, I want to make a pizza so bad. Like, I'll make one, but I have nothing to make pizza here at my house. And I can't order pizza, and there are no pizzas at any of the grocery stores that I go to. They're sold out because they get ransacked. There's like lineups of people just buying frozen pizzas and all the other frozen goods because they don't want to cook for their kids because they're busy working, which makes total sense. Okay, I think I'm going to do that for all of the parts. Been renovating a bit, otherwise it's mostly just games. I should have invested in a dairy cow earlier this month, but where would I put it? I live in a flat. I don't, um, I'm, I don't eat milk. I haven't drank milk in a really, really long time. I freaking love cheese though, but milk, no, I don't know. I've never been a super fan. I have cousins that drink the hell out of milk. Like they'll go through liters of it, and I just like well liters of it in like a. I mean, they'll finish like a whole box in a day, you know, like. And man, I can't even. I could never. I don't know. It's just not for me. But I think the thing that I really love eating the most is seriously pizza. Like the fact that I'm out of pizza and I can't get any pizza anywhere, I'm like kind of going crazy. Like I want my damn pizza fix and I'm not getting it. I feel like this drawing's gonna be a lot sketchier than my other ones from this month. But it'll look cool, nonetheless. Even if it's more sketchy, even if it's sketchier than the other ones, I still think it's gonna look fun. It'll look fun and fine. Hiya, hiya. And the size kind of small. Make it a little bigger. Yeah, it's good. Maybe I'll use some actual red for that. Okay. Just a little bit bigger my brush just for the shoulder here. Now back to the smaller brush. There we are. Even worse, England might be on lockdown for the next 6 months. Oof. I know, like, I'm here in Canada and we are currently on lockdown, and we're on lockdown until May 1st. And it's no guarantee it's gonna turn that off. They're just like, we're locking down until then, and we'll see what happens after then. Oh, it was my birthday last weekend too. Whoa, happy belated birthday. Did you do anything fun? You know, sing your happy birthday to yourself all alone in a room. You don't have any candles, so maybe you lit like a lighter, all in the darkness of your own house. I'm making it sound super depressing. I'm sorry. I just think it's funny. But yeah, man, happy birthday. I had some cake at least. What? How'd you have cake? Oh, I'm guessing you just went out to pick some up. You braved the elements so that you could get that sweet, sweet cake. Okay, I do like that. Let's do it like this, so it looks like it's kind of floating on top. Maybe I should do something more like this. Make it like a giant gem. I think that would be cool. And the other one's gonna be here, but you don't really see it. Alright, let's erase these fingers. I'm sure I can do a better job than that. A lot to do here, so I gotta make this sketch here. Come on, Eric, go, go, go. Okay. It's crazy, like, it's already almost been an hour, and this is much sketchier than most of the stuff I do, but it is pretty detailed too, though. Like, it's weird, like, it doesn't look really detailed, but it is. Even having drawn, like, the pose and everything in advance, still running out of time. Like, I've got her hair I've got to do here. I've got her... the rest of her body. I'm like so out of time. This is going to definitely go on longer. I feel like my live stream sketches are now all an hour and a half. But I have to mention that I don't want them to be an hour and a half. Just because I think an hour is just easier to work with. Even if I always go over it, for that one time I don't go over it, I want people to be like, hey, you could draw another one. Because I ain't got time for that. Actually, that wouldn't be there like that. If her hand is like this, this piece still comes out. We're going to make it go in like this. Like, if this was a nice, fully polished illustration, usually, like, the pieces that I'm making all black, like, that I'm filling in with black to give off that hollowed out effect, I would be, like, filling with robotic pieces. Like little glow effects and things, kind of like you see on the inside of her, like, her armpit right here, or the inside of her arm, where it's like a whole glow piece where it feels like it attaches everything to a core. I would do something like that for sure. Meanwhile, in Amazon UK, lowest price for Animal Crossing is £77. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody who didn't pick up that game when they had the chance are crazy. Actually, no, wait, I take it back. The people buying it now for crazy inflated prices are crazy. Seriously, Animal Crossing, be patient and wait. This viral thing's not going to last forever. You're going to get your Animal Crossing unless you're really, really old and you know that you're not going to make this. Like, if you feel like you're not going to make it, but if you're, like, younger and you're just buying Animal Crossing, well, for the love of God, don't waste your money. It's just awful. And it's not worth it either, by the way. Like, Animal Crossing, for sure, it's a good game. I know I'm not fond of it, but I know some people that really are. It's just, I know it's a good game. Just seriously, don't go overboard. There's no point. I went for Doom Eternal instead. Yeah, and I picked up Digimon Cyber Sleuth. before that ends up going up in value, because I guarantee you that game will for sure. Animal Crossing is one of those games that are always going to be made. There's going to be tons of them everywhere you look. You literally have nothing to worry about for Animal Crossing. You just have to be patient, you'll get it. So most people that play video games have a backlog of games, and they have tons and tons of them at home. Not everyone, but a lot of them do. So what I suggest is go and start playing those games over again. I mean, if you started Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and you've never beaten it, now's the time to go back, start from the beginning if you have to, and play the entire thing. And do that with any other game that you have lying around. Like, this is the moment for this. It's the moment for you to catch up on your backlog games. So once you're able to get Animal Crossing like a month, maybe a month and a half from now, then you'll be able to act like you'll play it. And like I said, you have more than all the time in the world right now too. Like, there's really, like, man, overspending on a game like Animal Crossing. What the heck? Like, that's a mass-produced game, so you should have nothing to worry about. I could see people spending a lot of money for Persona Into the Royal, because that game looks awesome, but Persona was already released, so even then, maybe not. Final Fantasy VII, when that comes out in a bit, if you don't have your hard copy because you got it from like GameStop or something like that, and they're not shipping it out to you, which they totally should, then yeah, I could see that being a thing. I can see that being expensive. Fun fact, when they first made and sold Buzz Lightyear toys, the initial run was sold out to the point where seekers went to the black market for one. Yeah, I believe that. That's me. I haven't even finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I'm already eyeing the remaster of the first game. Yeah, I've never played the first game, and I have beaten Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so I'm like, I'm thinking I'm going to get the first game for sure, but I'm going to get it used. I'm not gonna buy a new version, a new copy of it, because even that game's gonna be mass-produced for sure. It's like published by Nintendo, and they're putting the work into it. Let's just put it that way. But all these people spending so much on Animal Crossing, I guarantee you they're going to regret it big time. Big time. I also know Secret of Mana, or no, Legends of Mana is coming out soon as well. I had pre-ordered that game, but I'm not even gonna get that either. I really wanted to get it at first, but then I realized that I only have so much money, and I've already beaten the original one. Well, not real. I haven't. But I'm looking for, like, I own the original one too, so I'm just gonna play like the Super Nintendo one, and I'm gonna beat that one, and I can play 2 players, so I'll play with my wife, and we're gonna have a great time. I don't think it's gonna be worth rebuying it, especially since the dubbing looks just awful, awful for Trials of Mana, the remake. Like, I can't believe that they would do such a bad job with the dubbing. Like, the trailer's just terrible. Like, it's actually kind of, like, it's really shameful that they would do such a bad dubbing in today's day and age. And the thing is that, like, they could have released this, like, the fact that they're remaking the whole title as well, and like they're remaking that whole game, and they could make Secret of Mana a thing again, doing something like this, because like Square Enix has done nothing with that franchise. Like, they keep coming out with these random games here and there, and most of them bomb. And the original one was so much fun, and they have so much potential, and it's crazy that they don't do anything with it. It's like Nintendo with Metroid, where they just don't know what to do with it. But yeah, Therazan, you're really not the only one to pick up a bunch of games and not actually finish them or go through them. Like most people do that. And I talked to a bunch of people about it too, because I wanted to get like an idea of why people do this, and I think I've like come up with a pretty good deduction. So basically, you buy a new game and it's exciting and it's new and it's super fun. So you start playing it for that. Then as the game goes on, like let's say it's a game that you're enjoying, okay? So you're not just going to be like, "Ah, this game sucks and I don't want to play it anymore." Like the game goes on and you're actually having fun, but a lot of games, depends on the game, but a lot of games have like grinding elements to them or like massive stories, like crazy things going down. And you're watching it, and then slowly but surely, the story's getting heavier and heavier, the plot heavier and heavier, the character development is coming on thicker and thicker, and then the next thing you know, you're just like exhausted. You're exhausted from playing this game, and knowing that you got to keep playing it, knowing that it's so heavy, so it's no longer light and fun. It's now like, oh my gosh, I have to now save the world. Before it was just running around town with my friends and collecting things. And when you first find out the whole saving the world plot thing, you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you keep playing, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I missed that fun, new, fresh beginning. And also your learning curve is slowly diminishing too. So your brain is no longer learning as much through the aspect of playing the game anymore, because you know the combat system, and now it's always the grind after that. So you're just doing the same thing over and over again to get to where you need to go. And then and like this is just a theory, so like you're gonna end up wanting to play something new and getting that new feeling, and then that learning again too, where you're like, yeah, I'm learning how to play a new game again, and like your brain is functioning a lot more too when you're learning how, trying to like figure out how to do this stuff, memorizing new locations, new characters, that sort of thing. And it's not just that either. Like, I think it also stems that there's some people that they love it so much that they don't want to finish it. You know, you have that concept where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm coming to the end. I don't want it to end. I love it so much. So what I'll do is I'll take my time with it, and then you slowly take your time to the point where you don't play it anymore. Or you'll end up being like, okay, well, I'll play this other game in between. So while I'm playing this other game in between, it'll lengthen my first game. But the problem is you don't go back to your first game, because then you start to slowly get into your other game in between, and then you completely forget about that first game, or you completely put it aside, where you always tell yourself, oh, one day I'm going to go back and beat this. And by the time you're like, okay, maybe I'll try it out, you turn it on, you plug it in, whatever, and then the next thing you know, you don't remember the combat system properly, you don't know what you're doing, and you're near the end of the game, so these bad guys are killing you left and right. And to watch YouTube videos and to practice and get back in the groove of things, you're just like, ugh, I don't feel like going through all that work again because I've already done it. So it's not like I'm learning something new again. It's like it's that grind again that I'm stuck with. So I feel like that's sort of what happens with games, and why a lot of people just sort of drop them after a while, even if they love them like crazy. Like I've kind of like adopted this philosophy since I kind of thought of this, where I end up being like, okay, well, there's a lot of games out there in the world, and I want to play so many of them. So before I play other ones, I'm going to end these ones, and the ones that I'm playing now, or the ones that I own. And I do that, like, that philosophy usually works out. I figured that I really love JRPGs the most. So I own a couple of adventure games where I'm literally looking at them. I'm like, I might just sell them, just because I can play JRPGs on a bus and public transport, which now I don't even need to care about. So if anything, I should be playing my adventure games now until I go back on the bus again. But still, like, those are the kind of games where I like them. And so I picked up Digimon like last week, or well, actually it was a little while before that. Like, it was a couple weeks ago actually. But I knew I was gonna love that game, and it's totally my kind of game. And I'm playing Atelier Ryza, and Atelier Ryza is crazy grindy. So I'm taking a break from that to play Digimon, but I'm actually gonna go back on it. Even though I just said that's the sort of thing that like you can get out of one game and get into another, but I love Atelier Ryza so much, and I do want to finish it. It's just that I've never played an Atelier game before, and knowing the amount of grinding that goes into these Atelier games of just getting the items to be able to build a new sword. Like, oh, I want to build a new sword. Well, that's gonna take you hours. Like, it'll take you a whole day just to build, like, to craft the items in order to build what you need in order to build the armor. And then when you're done doing that, you're like, okay, well, I'd like to play the story now, but you don't have enough armor for all your characters. And you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll just build the armor for my character. So you spend a few days building all this armor for your characters, and then you're like, all right, now it's on to the story. And then you're like, oh, I need better weapons. You know what? I don't care. I'm going to play story mode anyway. And you do okay. You've got great armor, and it's not really a difficult game, so you end up getting through it. But right after that, they're like, okay, we've opened up the new door where you can go and craft all your new stuff here. And at that point, it's like, okay. And I like the crafting. I think it's fun. It's just, it's too much of the same thing all the time. So that's why I switched up to Digimon, which also has tons of grinding, but its grinding lies in combat, whereas Atulier's grinding lies in like looking for items. I don't know how to say that, like item hunting, and so it's kind of like they work well with one another to take a break from one to go into the other one. So I like that. But there's no way I would play, let's say, like Persona 5 and play Digimon Cyber Sleuth at the same time. There's no way. Like, those games both have crazy grinding to them, and it would be awful. So I wouldn't do that. Because they're too similar. It's less that I don't want it to end. I'm instead scared that I won't be able to go back and finish other side quests. That's another thing, side quests. Don't get lost in side quests. This is something I've realized through years of playing my gaming too, where I'm like, where I want to finish games. There's millions of side quests. Oh, millions. Yeah, millions of side quests for millions of different games. Okay, like you're always going to be playing different games, and so many of these games, especially if they're grindy games, are going to offer so many side quests that it's ridiculous. Like it's way too many, and every game offers them, and they offer a lot. So some games might seem less than others, but when you're playing multiple games at once, it's way too much. So I usually suggest to like do some, don't do all of them. Pick and choose. And at one point, if you're like, oh, but I won't know the whole story or how this ends with this character, what does it matter if you're not going to play that game? Like, if you're going to drop the game altogether and not finish it, like, let's take Xenoblade, for example. There's so many side quests in Xenoblade to unlock so many unique, awesome blades, and you wanted to originally play that whole game and unlock all the blades. Well, you know what? If you're not even going to beat the game because there's so many side quests, ignore the side quests and just beat the game. Forget it. You aren't going to do them anyway. Like, you're not doing them in any case because you've given up on it. So, I really suggest at that point to, like, cut your losses and go for the main story, so that way at least you can say, alright, well, I finished this. And they make games so massive that completionism is basically a waste of time. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey for the last 20 plus hours without advancing the main quest, and I still got regions I haven't set foot into. I got this idea for a game which lets you choose the full story mode or Reverie mode, which is the main story but faster, and you can do whatever you want. Yeah, that's pretty efficient. But yeah, being a completionist in today's day and age is just not, it's really not for most people. It's not even, like, I can't even say it's not for everyone, because that makes it sound like there are, like, you're part of, like, a crew of people that, like, are small, like, that it's even. It makes it sound even, and it's not even. It's, let's say it's not for most people. Being a completionist is not for most people. It's just no one's got the time for these sort of things. Anyway, this is just my, like, my 2 cents on it. You know, like, other people have different opinions, and that's fine. It's just, it's kind of how I've noticed things with gaming. gosh, time. Time goes by so quickly when you're drawing. And I really want to work on my Digimon illustration. But I'm not going to rush this. Well, I am a little, but I'm not going to like botch it. Let's put it that way. I'm going to keep going at my own pace until it's all done. Such mode exist, but they're usually placed below easy in the difficulty menu, so I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. The problem with games that have an easy mode too is usually you'll get a bad ending. They'll be like, yeah, if you want to see the good ending, play it on the harder difficulty that gave you the option to do these side quests so that your ending doesn't end with the main character dying or losing the love of his life. And it's like, man, screw you, game. You want me to play your game and you want me to see your story, and I don't have time to put 150 hours into you, so I put in 70 hours, which is a lot. And then it's like, well, you know, if you just wanted to do 70, you might as well have just not played it at all. Here's your ending, asshole. And you're just like, ah, man. So I usually play games on normal mode, and you get like the okay ending with things like this, and then I'll watch the good ending on the internet if it's a game that's like that. But it's rare. Usually I do most of the side quests, but I'll never do all of them. I always do like a bunch of them, and I kind of pick and choose. If I'm like, oh, this seems like a fun side quest, then I'll just do it. Like at the beginning of the game, I just do all of them, and then as the game goes on, I'm like, okay, well, I want to move forward, and I'm never going to move forward. So if I keep doing goddamn side quests... Just gonna make up a bunch of my own stuffed animals right now. There we go. I don't like how this goes in up here, so I'm gonna make it straight. Alright, I think it's about time to hit up that hair. I do have a bad ending plan, but they only become available depending on your choices, and ultimately depending on yes, no questions, you can flick back and easy. That kind of feels like Undertale style. It's like the Sonic, Devil May Cry, and Bayonetta grading system that if you haven't played like a god, the game shames you by giving you a D or an E grade. Yeah, yep, it is like that. And so you're like, oh man, I have to keep doing this until I get a better grade. Why do you need that better grade? Is it going to change your ending? Maybe. I don't even know. Like, I played Bayonetta and I got bored of it. And it's not really that I got bored. That's not fair. It's because I just, again, like, I play on the bus. And I cannot play Bayonetta on the bus. It's ridiculous. Like, I really tried, but it was just impossible. That's why I only play, like, pretty much JRPGs. I don't mind action-adventure if it's, like, partial action. Like, I can't play Tales of Destiny, or Tales of Vesperia, sorry, on the bus. But I can play, like, Atsugi Ryza, which is action, or what's another good like action style one? Xenoblade. I could do Xenoblade on the bus. Because I don't have to like run around while I'm fighting, you know, like it makes such a big difference. Save. So if you do certain things, you can agree to get a bad ending at the yes/no question, but if you do other choices, you'll avoid the choice altogether. What's going to be the name of your game? Man, I never should have put the hair on the same layer as the rest of this. That's so stupid of me. Like, I'd be able to finish this so quickly if it weren't for that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower this down. And on another layer, I'm going to do the hair on top of it. And I'm just going to attempt to erase the other one afterwards. Squad Spectrum. I got the logo and story about done already. What's missing is a game. Oh my gosh. Well, I love how you always have millions of projects. That's healthy. It makes these quarantine moments like this pretty epic. You know, like I had my comic that I was working on, which I go on about all the time. And I just, because like I had I was already quarantined. I was already in the house 24/7 just working on that. So now that I'm actually done that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need something to do right now. And I'm going to do some pinups because I always go to all these conventions, and this year I haven't had time to do any like nice fancy pinup drawings. Like I didn't do a single one so far in 2020. And I usually each convention I'll have like maybe like 5 or more pinups, and this year I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna have one of these things. So I was kind of worried about that. I must admit. And now I'm like thinking, okay, well I have this time off and I'm playing tons of video games, so I'm not gonna play games so much anymore. I'm not gonna waste it. Because the second that the quarantine thing is over, then I'd like to be like, yeah, look at all my sweet drawings. And if by chance all my conventions get canceled, which would be a nightmare, and I would be so angry about that because I need the monies to help support, pay, and promote my comic book. It'll be okay because at least I'll have all those pinups for next year. I also have to do more pinups of my own comic book characters. It's required for my next issue to my comic because I'm going to fill it with pinups within the story of it all. Like something's going to happen where I'm going to show these pinups of these characters, so I think it'd be really nice. And so I want to do that, and then I can also have like pinups that I can sell at conventions, which is always nice. It's rare I sell original artwork though, but when I do, it's always super awesome. I'm always very appreciative of the people that do it, and they're usually the type of people that appreciate me for drawing that sort of stuff. So it's cool. It works so well. You know, like for example, I'll have like a drawing of Spider-Man, and I'll sell that, or Venom, and I'll sell that drawing out at every convention. It's like Venom's so popular, but I mean when it comes to a drawing of my comic book character, I'll print out like 5 prints of it and I'll sell maybe 1, maybe 2, and like 5 of multiple different ones, so I'll sell like maybe 1, or let's say like the whole convention I'll be like, okay, I sold like 10 this convention, and man, 10 is being really nice. I'd say it's much less than that. It's to the point where like people buying my comic now, I might give them a print for free. But there are some people that do buy it, and it's awesome when they do. I love it so much. I'm always like extra happy about that. But that's just the way of the world too, right? And I will sell more original stuff at a convention that's anime based over a convention that's American artwork based. And that doesn't have too much to do with my art style. It has to do with a lot of times like the kind of people that go. You know, like anime people love anime art, and well, I guess it does have to do with my art style. smaller brush for this. My style is very anime, but also I've like people that go to anime conventions support. They support more of them support newer ideas. It's not like that always. Like I've gotten a lot at American style conventions, big time. It's just that let's just say that at an American convention, most of the people that go to those conventions are like people that are like I guess pop culture. So it's a lot more pop culture that's there, and because of their because like comics are and like American style things are more mainstream, like American heroes and things like that. The pop culture will dictate that more. Like if I drew a bunch of My Hero Academia stuff, like artwork, I would sell so much at an American convention because it's pop culture. It's like Dragon Ball. I'd sell tons of Dragon Ball, and this is the sort of thing that you don't really like I'll draw an Evangelion illustration and I won't sell one of those at an American convention. Like maybe one drawing. I won't say none, because that's how the world works. The second you're like, oh no, I'd never sell this, and then you do, in front of the person you said we would never work to. That's how life is. But it's just to say, let's just say like the averages. There we go. I think we're pretty much done here. Alright, now let's erase the hair that I had drawn back here that I don't like. I'm going to leave that there. Most of this one I actually used the line art, so I'm not going to erase anything there. This, let's just add to it here, add an extra circle there, come in here and add a bunch of circles. There we go. That looks cute. And get rid of this. So this is a fusion of Susie and Black Star Teen Titans. All right. Sorry, I really have to stretch. I rented Bayonetta, so I can't come back to it. The fights were already coming too tough for me when I actually knew how to play. In the meantime, a joke post I made on Twitter became popular. Basically, it's a voice clip of Eggman singing part of Eggman over the instrumental song. Huh, that's funny. Alright, saving this. Just gonna add a couple random lines here and there to make her a little more robot-y. You know, like this, I'd like a line here. Maybe we can put a line here. And on the inside here. Another line's there to make her a little more robot-y. Extra one here. Couple there like that. Little lines here too, so it makes it feel more three-dimensional. I'm gonna add a little bit of shading bubble on that. I don't like that at all. You think I'd figure out how to draw something like that in this day and age? Okay, hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it professionally. First, I go over it like this. Then I grab an eraser. Really, well, let's make it like a kind of like a, it's like a marker style eraser. Oh Jesus, my whole computer's blowing up. Here we go. Make it pretty small, and then I cut it like this. Then afterwards, I grab a real nice soft eraser, and I'll go over it with the soft one. There we go. Let's make that a little harder. There we are. And then, for fun, I'm actually going to illustrate harder lines on top of it, because I realized that even though I really like this soft one, when it comes to me drawing this, or printing it out as a book in the future, it won't be noticeable. So I gotta do some harder lines so it's just, it pops a bit more. There we go. Yeah, having lines like this really, I find, makes her look more robot-y. There we go, that's cute. It's crazy what a couple of lines would do. It's funny, like I wasn't gonna do it, but I thought it looked so plain, and I'm like, if I just add a few extra lines, you know, like even like a couple in the back here, it adds like a weird kind of, no, in the back I don't like it. I just like it when it's on one, like maybe it's on the sides of her leg. But yeah, like I could even add like another one here like this to make a stripe. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't like that. But yeah, just a couple lines. It's crazy what just a couple lines will do to your whole drawing. Like if you want it to look, like robotic. Let's definitely put one here. Come on. There we go. That's good there. Alright. Gonna save. Drink some water. And there we have our fusion of Susie from Kirby and Blackstar from Teen Titans. Looks great. Looks awesome. Thanks, Robert. And thus ends my live streaming session for today. Woo! So for those of you that are new or that are tuning in, I do this every single Tuesday from like usually lunchtime to 1 o'clock. Now it's gone on a little bit further, a little longer, but hey, it's part of the fun. So for all of you that are here right now or that are currently watching this or whatever, thank you so much for tuning in. It was super fun. We got to do a fun mashup fusion today. And next week is going to be OC week, the first week of every single month. It's original characters that I mash up into something new. And I don't have like my paper anymore that I like do my outro to, so I'm gonna have to win it. Thus ends my live streaming session for today. Yet the real challenge begins listening to my couple-minute long advertisement on me, myself, and I. All links mentioned will be in the description below this video. So, at a young age, I realized that sleep was for suckers and I could get way more done by avoiding it altogether. And now that I'm older, I realize that all I want to do is sleep. I'm so tired all the time because I'm working all the time. Not so much this week. This past week. Well, actually, I did work pretty intensely getting my comic pages finished. My comic! I write, publish, illustrate, and self-publish again. I have to mention it twice because it's so intense. My own comic book, which is all in color. This giant trade paperback here is 100 pages and 5 years of my life, and I'm currently working on the next one, not trade paperback, that's going to take me another 5 years, but my issue, which I actually just finished like 2 days ago, which is awesome. So, if you'd like to help support this comic book, I have a Patreon page. It's $3 a month. That's cheaper than a bag of chips. So, in an entire month, if you don't mind taking that bag of chips you're going to buy and being like, I can wait, and hooking me up with that $3, I will put it directly towards publishing more of this comic book and trying to make it super popular. I want everybody to read it and everybody to see it. I put a lot of work into it. And also, for those of you here right now, why not subscribe and hit that like button and tell all your friends. Tell all of your friends about my YouTube live streaming. They're super fun. And I've decided that if for all the people that follow me on my Patreon page, at the end of each year, I'm going to be making a little sketchbook full of my sketches throughout the year that I've done. And if you've been a member for 12 months, then I'll send one to you. I don't know exactly, like, I'm kind of working through this right now, so I'm not going to charge you for the book, but I might charge like an amount for shipping depending on where you live. Like, I don't mind paying a basic amount of shipping, but if it's going to cost me like $25 or $30 to ship it to you, I can't afford it. In any case, thank you so much for all of you already following me on Patreon. You're the greatest ever, and you help support my future, which I really appreciate. So I love and cherish all of you. Take care. Have a super amazing day. I'll be seeing you, and yeah, see you next week. Be seeing you.